Joe Hopkins here, and the warning! I'm reviewing the concert I went to see, and the answer is yes. Absolutely yes. Go to see them. They are awesome. That's the end of the video. No, I'm kidding. Right? I do have clips for anybody that wants to see clips from the show. If you can see how good they were. That'll be a little bit later. Right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the venue. I'm going to tell you about the opening act. Then I'm going to tell you about the warning and clips of the opening act after the opening act, clips of the warning after the warning. So if you just want to see clips of the show, you got that little slider thing underneath your player there. You move it along, and yeah, you can find it. Just skip ahead. But if you want to know more about the show and if you should go see them, that's what I'm going to tell you about. Now, first of all, I saw them 10 months ago at Rams Head Live in Baltimore, and they were awesome. And this time, they were even better. They've gotten better. They've gotten tighter, or maybe it was just a really good night. You know, I've played gigs. I know sometimes you have a particularly good night. This was a particularly good show. I went to see them at the Fillmore in Silver Spring, Maryland. Now, first, a little bit about the Fillmore. If you live in this area, should you go see a show there? I won't go there again. I don't believe I will. And I'll tell you why. Right? First of all, go to buy my tickets. Now, my wife, I was bringing her to the show. She can't stand for long periods of time. They're required by law to have ADA seating. And so far, every club we've gone to up until now, the ADA seating, it worked really well. You call them ahead of time. They reserve you a seat. It's usually in the back, right, which is fine, but it's in a spot where you can see the stage, and they got chairs for the people that can't stand for long periods of time. That's cool. I get it. I'm going to be in the back. That's cool. Is what it is, right? So we go. I call. I can't get them on the phone. I go through the menu. Says to call them on a show night, so I do. Nothing. I try several times. I called 2 hours or 3 hours before the show, 2 hours before the show, and an hour before the show while we were eating dinner. Can't get anybody on the phone. I get over there, ask about the ADA seating. They kind of just wave us off, right? So finally I ask somebody else about the ADA seating. They send us upstairs, which, there's an elevator, right? For people who can't climb stairs. We get up there, and there's this real nice balcony area, and there's seating down the sides, and there's real nice seating with tables and a waitress that comes around and asks you what you want. That's reserved. That's for fancy people. By the way, I'd have bought those tickets if I could have found where they were for sale. They weren't for sale on Ticketmaster, and I couldn't find on their website where it was for sale. Everything I found says general admission, standing room only. Or I would have bought those tickets. But nothing is clear. Kind of like with the calling. Nothing's clear. You can't, whatever. So, okay, I'd have bought seats if they'd have had them for sale. Apparently they have them for sale somewhere because there were some rather fancy motherfuckers that were sitting in those seats. So they must have been able to get those seats. So anyway, I asked the guy about the ADA seating. He's at the little booth that, seating people in their fancy seats. He gets annoyed with me. Well, you're supposed to, he asked the name, and I'm like, well, I couldn't get anybody on the phone. You're supposed to reserve those. I'm like, yeah, nobody picked up. You have to call on a show night, right? So I'm like, I'm not telling this guy that I've been calling and I can't get through. So there's no point. Smart ass, no point in talking to this dude. They take us to the back corner of the balcony where you can't see the stage at all. You can't see anything. Where they have like 7 folding chairs set up because they're legally required to. Total afterthought. Every other club we've been to, they put some thought into the ADA seating, right? You're in the back, but you can see stuff. I get it, you're going to be in the back. That's fine. But total afterthought. I can stand for a whole show. So when the show starts, I walk down closer to the balcony, and I'm standing right in front of the ADA seating. I'm like 5 feet away from my wife. I can see part of the stage, right? That's cool. Okay. She can't see nothing. Can't see anything. And all the other people who needed ADA seating stand up around her. So she really can't see anything. But hey, there was a flat screen TV up there the camera, it's got, mounted camera, and the picture goes to that TV. The camera's mounted over there where the fancy people are sitting, where you have a perfect view of the stage. So she watched it all on, looked about a 55, 60-inch flat screen TV. Nothing even fancy, right? I won't go back. That's a total afterthought. They put her in a corner. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Anyway, no, I didn't appreciate it. I didn't appreciate the lack of clarity. I didn't appreciate the fact that they have seats that I couldn't find where they were for sale. Nothing's clear. Nothing. You can't find anything. You can't get a hold of anybody. And when you get there, the dude's a smartass. I doubt I'll go to the Fillmore Silver Spring again. But that's just the venue. What about the show? Well, they had a band opening for them called Speed of Light, who I've heard some of their stuff before and liked it. Right? It's two brothers and a sister, like three siblings. Two dudes and a chick. They're, brother, sister. They killed it. I like their music as it is, but when I saw them live, like they killed it. They were amazing. They were, honest to God, really, really great. They were better than a lot of main acts I saw or that I've seen over the years. These cats are really good. If you got a chance to see Speed of Light, they're worth checking out. They really are. My God, that girl can wail. They played an awesome set. I guess it was about 35, 40 minutes, 30 minutes, between 30 to 40 minutes, something like that in there. Decent set, really killed it. They were a lot of fun to watch. I'll play some clips here, and by the way, you might notice all the clips in this, I focused primarily on the singer, because that's the part of the stage I could see the best from where I was. I try to get clips of the rest of it when I can, but I'm up in the corner. So did the best I could. Here's some clips of Speed of Light. Okay, so excellent opening act. So then, the warning, the main act, that's what you're here to hear about. Absolutely killed it. Absolutely killed it. They were having a really, really good night. Now, I gotta say, it did kind of suck. I could see Daniela just fine. Paulina, I could see pretty much. Alejandra, I could get glimpses of, which she's really entertaining on stage, right? That chick's got some moves. She does all the bass moves, It's fun to watch people who know how to perform. And she, out of the three of them, she is maybe the best at actually just performing, stage presence. She really knows how to move, really knows how to ham it up well, which I like, and it's worth watching. I didn't really get to watch much of it, but be that as it may, you're mostly there for the music, and the music was excellent. They were absolutely terrific. I liked the fact that it wasn't blisteringly loud. A lot of newer bands and a lot of bands these days don't crank it so hard that it blows your hearing out. So that was nice. And it's absolutely great. Almost all the songs they played, I'm pretty sure, I don't remember if they played anything off anything else, but most of it was off Keep Me Fed, which they're on the Keep Me Fed tour. So yeah, they're promoting that album. And some songs off of Error. I don't think they did anything off of their other two albums, which it would be nice if they dug back into their back catalog a little bit, because honestly, I love 21st Century Blood. I mean, I like Queen of the Murder Scene. That's an excellent album, but I love 21st Century Blood. That is such a raw, ass-kicking album. But I do have to say, honestly, Error, and especially Keep Me Fed, have the songs on them are much more radio friendly, popish. I don't know how you'd put it. It's like the catchier stuff, and they're great albums. They're great rock albums. It's the kind of stuff that's more likely to get you on the radio, I think, and that's mostly what they're playing. Kind of makes sense, like I said, promote the album you're on tour for, play the songs off of that, right? Makes sense, and most of the songs that people really know are off of those 2 albums. So, yeah, I really loved it, though. I'm really glad that right at the end they finally played Automatic Sun. I love that song. But, yeah, they killed it the whole show. The whole show. I love the fact that so many of their songs have the sing-along parts, the parts where the audience kind of does a whoa, along with it. And their songs are very sing-along-y. A lot of the songs off of those last 2 albums there, especially off of Keep Me Fed, you can sing along with them, so the audience does. And it's pretty cool. It's good stuff. I really enjoyed it. If you haven't seen The Warning live, I'd recommend it. They're still on tour. God knows how much longer they're going to be on tour. They might just keep going because they've been promoting this album a while. Like I said, I saw them 10 months ago in Baltimore, and that wasn't even near the beginning of the tour. They'd already toured, Latin America and Europe and Canada. And then they toured the U.S. and then went back to Latin America and Europe and Canada, and now they're going back through the U.S. again. This is a hell of a marathon tour. They are really they just got on the road and stayed there. So they might still be coming around to your hometown. They're still playing like the larger clubs, right? That's about the size they are, but I'm thinking at some point they're going to start graduating to pavilions and larger venues, because I got to say, both times I've seen them so far, they packed the place. Like, they oversold both of the concerts I saw. And I mean, like, oversold. Like, there were almost too many people in there. It wasn't just sold out. We were packed in there like sardines. And it was the same when I saw them 10 months ago. We were packed in there. They've been selling out these clubs, absolutely selling them out. If you want to go see them, don't wait till the last minute to buy tickets, because they have been selling them out, hard. Like I said, I think they've been overselling the venue a bit, which it shows the popularity of this band. And just like the last show, it was a broad audience, age-wise. A very broad audience, everything from 10-year-olds up to like retirees, seriously, there are old folks there really getting into it. They're not just, they didn't just show up to bring the grandkids. They were actually into it. Like, they like this band. The parents like this band. The kids like this band. They have a very broad appeal, which is cool, I think that's why they're selling out these venues so quickly, because everybody, like the whole family, can like the same band, which is cool, That's definitely how you build a large following, have a broad appeal. I understand why they do, too. They have enough, they sound new enough. They have the new, fresh, young sound that appeals to younger people. They also, along with that sound, it has kind of like that rock appeal to it, so that the older people are going to like it too, right? They kind of remind me of if a band from the 70s were doing it now, right? With a new kind of vibe to it. Yeah, you take a band from the 70s and make them now, they're obviously going to sound different. They would have had different influences. They would have listened to different stuff, But that's kind of the feel I get. Like, if you're into classic rock, you would like them. And if you're into new rock and metal, you'd probably like them. So the broad appeal kind of makes sense to me. And regardless of who's opening for them, you're probably going to get a good opening act. I got to say, with The Warning, both times I've seen them, they had an absolutely terrific, on fire opening act. When I saw them last time, they had Holy Wars opening for them, which is a band that I'd heard on YouTube and just thought, meh, right? And I saw them live open for The Warning, and they were absolutely amazing. And I thought, I must be wrong. They must not have, they must be better than I thought. So I went home. Next day, I bring up their stuff on YouTube and listen to it, and no, it's meh. I'm really meh on them. If you like them, I'm sorry, you're allowed. It's just, for me, it's like, meh. But live, they were on fire. And this band, Speed of Light, I like them. I already liked them. And live, they were absolutely amazing. So they're picking out really good opening acts so far that I've seen. It's bands that aren't real big yet, but they're amazing live. Both times they had great opening acts, which is nice to know, because you're seeing two great acts for the price of one, really. You know, how often have you gone to see a band and the opening act is just, meh, don't even care, right? No, it's worth showing up. They're making good choices. They're picking good acts to open for them. And that's cool. That's really a good thing. So there you go. The Warning, you should go see them here. I'll play clips. All right, The Warning. You should go see them. They are absolutely amazing. Every last show, every live clip I've seen on YouTube, they are just really, really killing it. Absolutely killing it. You know, you see some of the older clips when they were younger, just starting out, and it's a little shaky, you know, like a lot of people starting out. But at this point, anything they've done in the last couple years is absolutely spectacular. They are such a killer live act, along with having such great songs, you know, so that they're worth seeing, they're worth checking out. Get on whatever, you know, ticket app you use and look it up, see where they're playing near you, and go check them out, man. That's my recommendation. If you don't know who they are, check them out. Good chance you'll like them. I've found people all across the board really like this band, and I think they're going to be huge someday. I really do. I'm looking forward to when they graduate from clubs and start playing pavilions and stuff like that, except maybe it'll cost more to see them. I don't know. I paid like $35 a ticket to see them this time, and it was about the same last time. So I like getting to see this band while they're still in the clubs. So someday I can say, oh man, I saw them back when they were playing clubs, because I do think they're going to be big someday. All right. So anyway, Check them out. I hope you found this video informative. I hope you enjoyed the little live clips. Sorry the clips are so short, you know, copyright and stuff like that. YouTube, you got the YouTube Nazis. What can I do? Anyway, I love you guys, and peace out, baby. Bye-bye.